Okay, ladies and gents, we are coming down to the wire, the end of the NAWCQ. 3 rounds to go. We're going to watch top 8 now. The timer is extended to 55 minutes for the round just because we need to ensure these games do not end in a draw. We have Logan J on the left with Fiendsmith Snake Eye and against Marshall D on Fiendsmith YUBEL. I think we've seen Marshall like a couple rounds ago. But we are starting off with Logan dropping the Mulch Army in the main deck, getting hit by the main deck called by the Grave, which is kind of nuts. Okay, so that is a huge interaction avoided by Marshall, who's going to then start with the Nightmare Throne, popping the Spirit of YUBEL, summoning out the YUBEL, and then shuffling both back for the Phantom of YUBEL, and then following up with Fiendsmith is looking really good for Marshall right now because we've already outed one of Logan's cards, kept him off of more hand traps, and now we have an interruption set up for any further hand traps besides something like Infinite Impermanence, right? So we're going ahead sending off the Engraver plus Requiem for the NAWCQ Princess, summoning back out the Engraver, I believe, if I saw that correctly, and then linking off into Fiendsmith's Sequence. And now we are probably going to use Fiendsmith's Sequence here to go into Aerial Eater, because I think that's what he summoned out a few rounds ago. So let's see if that's what happens. Yeah, we're shuffling back 2 Light Fiends. Let's see if it's Lacrima. Nope, there's the Aerial Eater to foolish any fiend from his deck, and now we can go into the Samsara D Lotus, link 2 into a copy of Yama, which is going to search us a Sharvara from deck. So essentially what we're going to try to do is destroy something with Sharvara while Yama's in the graveyard to bring back that Samsara D Lotus. But Logan with the clutch imperm on Yama, not only is it clutch because it keeps Marshall off of that play to summon back out the Samsara, but it also plays through the Phantom of YUBEL, forcing Marshall to link off that Phantom of YUBEL to continue playing. So Marshall's kind of just sitting on an Unchained Solar Rage, which is a pretty weak board when it comes down to it. Logan starting off with now 4 cards in hand because he lost the Mulch Army and lost the Imperm, and then drew 1 for turn. We have a Tractus to start off, which is really strong. But we do have kind of the Unchained Solar Rage to check that a little bit maybe. Marshall drops Droll right there, which against Fiendsmith Snake Eye, if they start with Tractus and you drop Droll, that's pretty good, because we're going to keep them off of Ash, Bonfire, Poplar Search, all that kind of thing. So we're linking off with Tractus into the Requiem here. Interesting that Unchained Solar Rage wasn't just used on the Lurie right off the bat. I think I kept saying Tractus. I don't know why I said Tractus, but yeah. So now Lurie's just going to sit there. It's a quick effect, so no point in using Rage. And now we're going to go ahead and summon out the Fiendsmith from the deck. I guess we're just holding Rage because if we summon out Rage now, we're gonna go into SP, and then what's SP gonna banish of value? But like right now, that's not so bad, right? We can link off the Engraver and then SP banish the Engraver. But it's not ideal, right? Logan still has 3 cards in hand to work with, even though he is under Droll. So let's see what else Logan has to play with. Okay, we normal summon the Snake Eyes Ash. It can't use its search effect because of the Droll. So now we're going to go ahead and use Unchained Solar Rage just to keep Ash off of having something to send to summon out the Oak from deck. And now we're also just going to SP banish the Engraver. So now Ash is kind of just sitting on field, and unless Logan has something to put on the field face up, he's going to have to pass turn, which is exactly what he does. That's pretty tough. Marshall, let's see if he draws any extenders. Yep, has the Nightmare Throne. Logan sees the writing on the wall, scoops it up right away, and that is a quick and easy win for Marshall in game number 1 of round 8 of the NAWCQ. He's just 1 more game win away from moving on to the top 4. So let's see how he can fare going second into the Fiendsmith Snake Eye deck. That is oh so powerful in just extending through interruptions, and I'm not sure how many hand traps Marshall's even on in the YUBEL deck. So we're going to go on to game number 2 here. Marshall is going to try to break Logan's board here eventually, has the Imperm for the Ash, and let's see what extension we have. Okay, we have the Bonfire, one of many ways to extend through an interruption on the Snake Eyes Ash. We're going to Bonfire for the Poplar. Poplar effect is going to probably search the field spell. The, I don't know, what's the field spell called? Am I tripping? Alright, anyway, well, he searched for the original, which means he probably has the field spell in hand already. Actually, no, that's not true, because maybe you search original if your Ash is impermed. So that could be a thing. I'm not a Snake Eyes player, but you know, I've commented on enough of these Snake Eye matches to kind of pick up how to play the deck. So anyway, we're gonna go for Tractus for Lurie, Lurie for Requiem, Requiem for Engraver here. So getting the Fiendsmith stuff online, which is pretty strong. But let's see what kind of Fiendsmith package Logan is playing in the extra deck. Are we on the NAWCQ? I don't think Snake Eye is typically on the NAWCQ actually, so no, we're just going to go ahead and link to. This is going to be a sequence here. Yep, Fiendsmith sequence. Poplar places itself in the spell trap zone. And now we can consider going straight for a Promethean pretty soon and bringing back the Ash unnegated, so he can send itself and summon out Oak and then summon out Flamberge, get into our Snake Eyes plays, even with a currently negated Ash. Anyway, sequence is going to bring out Lacrima. Lacrima is going to bring back the Engraver. And now let's see what Logan has in mind here. Do we go Promethean? Do we go Beatrice? Looks like we're going to go for a rank 6 play into the Beatrice to send a copy of, let's see, of Angel of Blue Tears. Okay, so we're going to try to floodgate out our opponent here by just searching a trap card. Let's see which one he is going with. Most players are playing Different Dimension Ground, but that did not look like Different Dimension Ground. What was that? That looks like Dimensional Barrier. Okay, so we're going to try to de-barrier out the Fiendsmith YUBEL deck, lock them out of fusions, I can only assume. Even though they do play Xyz monsters, Xyz are not going to really help Marshall break the board. Fusions are going to be much more useful for that. So, yep, we got the D-Barrier set, and now we're going to go original, send the Poplar. We can bring out the Snake Eyes Oak here. Oak, bring back the Poplar. So now we have a full board of all of our level 1 guys, and we can probably expect to see Oak send maybe that Ash for a copy of Flamberge coming up. There we go. And then probably here we're going to link into a Promethean pretty soon. Or maybe even an IP first and then into Promethean. Let's see what Logan decides to do. Link 2 into the IP. Flamberge bring back 2. Oak and Poplar. Interesting he didn't bring back Ash, because Ash, you can still use the effect to summon from deck. But I guess there's nothing left you really need to summon. Flamberge has gone through. Oak has gone through, so... yeah, we're just going to link 3 now with IP and Poplar into a Promethean Princess. Promethean is going to bring back our Flamberge Dragon here, and we're going to Spell Trap Zone the IP. And now, let's see, we're going to link off Promethean and the Oak for a Hida, and then link 4 probably into an Appaloosa here. So we have Appaloosa for 2, D-Barrier, and IP in the Spell Trap Zone through 1 Imperm. Let's see if Marshall can break through that. The D-Barrier is going to be probably pretty significant, so let's see what kind of plays that Marshall's going to be able to do. Also, we're going to Beatrice for Black Goat Laugh, so we had 2 Beatrice targets to send. That's pretty insane. So now we're going to have Flamberge bring back out the IP, and now we're ready to rock and roll, even though we're playing into... Well, no, I don't know what phase it was, so maybe we're not playing into Talents. So this is probably okay. Let's see. Logan is still trying to do something. We're going to link off with IP before Marshall even commits anything. We're going to go right into the SP. SP banish did... Oh, maybe Marshall called Battle Phase. Okay, now we go main... I bet that's what happened. He called Battle Phase, and Logan kind of like had to accept that and burn through the IP, or else he would just lose all the interruptions. And now we have Droll on the opening of the Spirit Gates. Search for Dark Beckoning Beast. Normal summon Dark Beckoning Beast. Obviously, you can't use effect. Then we're going to summon out the Gruesome Grave Squirmer here. So Marshall has some plays, but... we're going to see what he can do, because there's a lot of interruption on Logan's side, especially with that D-Barrier looming and the Flamberge bringing out some follow-up. We're going to link off into an Almirage here. And that's going to get our Dark Beckoning Beast into the graveyard, give the opening of the Spirit Gate something to revive. So we might see in Marshall's hand the opening of the spirit gates. We'll just pitch the spirit and revive the spirit. So I'd be interested to see if we have something like that. Oh no, we're going to use Princess to pop the Almirage and the Flamberge. We're going to tribute the I don't know, did we use the Almirage effect to protect the Gruesome Grave? I don't know, it doesn't really matter. But anyway, Flamberge is going to summon back out Oak Poplar. Oak's going to summon out the it's going to add the Ash back to hand. Okay, so our remaining interruptions are going to be 2 Appaloosa negates, as far as I know, plus a SP Little Knight. And there is the Spirit of YUBEL discarded off of the opening the Spirit Gates to try to summon itself back out. So let's see what we have here. Ooh, and we have a Sharvara revealed in hand. Negated with Appaloosa. Okay. So on activation of the Spirit of YUBEL, we chained SP, targeting I don't know, whatever it was, Promethean and the Gruesome Grave. Those are now banished. We tried to chain the Sharvara to pop the Gruesome Grave, but that did not resolve. And yeah, we're just going to scoop it on up here. Marshall is going to not be able to play through all of that interruption set up by Beatrice, set up by Appaloosa, especially kind of ruined the day there for him. So, all right, we're going to move on to a game 3, and that means we're going to see the Fiendsmith YUBEL deck be able to go first against the Fiendsmith Snake Eye deck. So let's see how that happens. Let's see if Logan gets into Mulch Army or any other interesting side deck options. We're going to start off with opening the Spirit Gates on Marshall's side, searching the Dark Beckoning Beast, and it does not look like there's any Drolan Lockbird in Logan's hand, so we're going to normal summon Dark Beckoning Beast, search for another opening, which means we have Chaos Summoning Beast in hand or something, maybe. Or maybe not. Maybe we just already have Samsara that we want to normal summon. We're going to use Samsara, summon out the Spirit of YUBEL, and no hand traps here. That's the perfect Ash opportunity. That's the perfect Imperm opportunity. We have the Nightmare Throne on top of that. This is not looking good for Logan because YUBEL basically has all of the tools they could possibly want to get into protection, get into a whole lot of interruptions and extenders, and pretty much anything you need here. There's Nightmare Pain, popping the Spirit of YUBEL, searching out the Gruesome Grave, and then we're going to Throne, summon out the Terror Incarnate, Spirit of YUBEL, summon out the regular YUBEL, and then we're going to summon back out the Spirit, go into Moon of the Closed Heaven. We're going to overlay here for Varudra, so now we have another interruption or negate here. Go into Requiem, Requiem for Engraver, and this is just not looking good for Logan. I don't know what the heck kind of board breakers he might have to try to break through this. Maybe Dark Ruler might help, but I don't see it. We're going to link off into Sequence now. We've already gone through all of the YUBEL stuff, so I expect Sequence wants to go into Desiree, but I don't know if he has enough material. We're going into Aerial Eater anyways. Interesting. Aerial Eater for what? Like, we've already used all the YUBEL stuff, unless we're dumping Sharvara? Yep, okay, there's the Sharvara. Sharvara is going to set the trap now, and now we're going to link into the, I'm guessing, Yama. Yama add back the Sharvara. Not sure why we went through all that to dump Sharvara and add back when we could have just added it from deck, but I don't know. He's cooking, so we're going to let him cook. I think he's probably going to try to, well, we need to get Appaloosa on the end board, or we need to get a DDD Wave High King Caesar on the end board. Now we have Unchained Solar Rage getting popped with Sharvara. The Yama is going to banish itself, summon back out the Rage. And then we're going to summon, we're going to summon out the Aerial Eater, and Rage is going to add back the Samsara D Lotus. And now, yep, we have DDD, Wave High King Caesar, Varudras, and Phantom of YUBEL, followed up by the Unchained Trap card. So that is a lot of interruptions, plus 5 cards in hand. This YUBEL deck is insane. What does Logan have? I'm pretty sure if he wants any chance, he's going to have Dark Ruler, or going to have a Forbidden Droplet or something like that. But anyway, we're starting off with Pitch Engraver, and then we're going to go for a track display here. Going to let that through on Marshall's side. Going to search and dump Lurie. Yep, search and dump Lurie. Summon back out Lurie. Anything here? Yep, we're going to go for the Unchained Solar Rage to clear that Lurie. I'm guessing. Maybe not yet. Interesting. Oh, we have Ogre on the Unchained Solar Rage. We're going to protect with the Phantom of YUBEL. Very strong play. Very strong play. Okay, now Rage is going to link off into SP. Now we're going to SP and Spirit of YUBEL effect. Oh no, no Spirit of YUBEL effect because the big YUBEL, the normal YUBEL is under Varudras, so there's nothing to summon out. But we are going to SP banish the Engrave out of the graveyard. It really removes that follow-up. Now we have Wanted. Wanted searches out Black Witch. Our remaining interruptions are 2 Wave Hiking Caesars, a what's it called? An SP and a Varudras. And then on Black Witch Summon, we're going to SP banish both. Black Witch is still going to get the original. We still have Wave Hiking Caesar for the Fiendsmith Engraver, which is coming now. Yep, there's Wave Hiking Caesar. So can Logan even put up a card on board to use original? Even if he does, original is going to get negated. Yep, he scoops it up. So that's Marshall taking the top 8 match against Fiendsmith Snake Eye with the Fiendsmith YUBEL deck. Fiendsmith YUBEL has made it into the top 4, in a top 4 where I thought it would be Snake Eye, like from top 16 up. So props to Marshall for getting there with the YUBEL deck. Let's see if we see him in the top 4 match coming up soon. Stick around, subscribe so you don't miss that one. We'll see you soon.